So I got an update for you guys. I'm coming up to Graper's machine shop, my machine shop guy, and got some bad news about the block. He magnafluxed it yesterday and found a crack in the lifter valley, so I'm probably going to be looking for a new block or maybe doing an LS swap. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We got to find a 400 block and wait until the last minute before they close to get it, because then they're not going to want to haul it away. That's when you get the good deal. So they advertise this place as the biggest swap meet in the Midwest, and they are completely right. It takes hours of power walking to get through this whole thing, like 6 hours.
For quite some time now, there's electric in the air. Can't deal in absolution. These scars are mine to bear. My mind tends to wander to a place I should not go. The key to my survival, forget things I can't control.
So we're taking a halftime break. It's 1 o'clock and it's 99 degrees on the second day of fall. This is ridiculous. This message was approved by water.
The world is on my shoulders. I cannot breathe at all. My speech is taken from me. Just let fate do it.
So I'm at Fall Jefferson swap meet. Feels like the Sahara out here. It should be like 72 degrees right now, but it's 100. So we're looking for a small block Chevy here, 400. Hopefully we find one. So far, not so good. So they advertise the swap meet as the biggest in the Midwest, and they are not kidding. Every time you think you're done, you're just getting into another section.
Spare me the grimy details, your so-called inner war, and I will not forget what I am fighting for.
So no luck so far in finding a 400 block. There's a guy I'm talking to on Facebook Marketplace. Seems pretty promising. He was about 30 minutes away from me, but he won't budge on the price. He wants to sell the block and all the rods, the pistons, the crank. I don't need any of that stuff. I already have it, so. So it's been about a week since Fall Jefferson. My main goal there was to find a small block Chevy 400, which I didn't find. I found a lot of small blocks there. I found a 350 for 50 bucks. Not a bad deal, I guess. So yeah, I was not able to find anything. I did find a 454 there though. And they didn't want too much for it. But it was only the block, so what am I going to do with that? So the guy I was talking to when I was at Fall Jefferson, I found him on Facebook Marketplace. He lives locally, so he's about 25 minutes away from me, and I've been talking with him for the last couple days, and I'm actually on my way right now to pick up a 400 off of him. It's not just the block, I'm getting all the internals with it, and the heads and the intake and so on. So it's not a bad deal. I'm getting it for 400 bucks. And my buddy's actually buying the intake off of me right after I buy it for 100. So $300 for a long block with a distributor and I think an oil pan and some other bells and whistles. So it's not a bad deal. Hopefully this block isn't cracked. So I was supposed to meet this guy around 7 o'clock, but I guess he's on his way home from work, which I was too, and I was thinking that we would be meeting in about 17 minutes. So I guess I'm going to meet up with my buddy and we're going to go shopping at Jewel. And and then I'm gonna get my $100 for my intake that I'm gonna give them eventually. So yeah, I'm gonna get some chicken strips and $100 and maybe some bread and something to drink. Yeah, and a 400 small block Chevy a little bit later. And then I'm gonna get rid of the small block Chevy, so I will own it for about an hour until it goes to the machine shop, and I don't see it probably for another month or two. So I'm waiting for my buddy in the Jewel parking lot because he's gonna give me money for that intake. Also, I'm waiting till 7:30 so I can go pick up this engine. Yeah, fun stuff. Love how on time people are. So here's the new 400. It came out of a 1979 Chevy truck. This is a virgin block, and it will be bored 30 over to fit the Keith Black Hyperrotectic pistons. So I'm back at Graper Machine Shop checking out the progress on the 400. So they hot tanked the block, then Magnafluxed it. This time it came back crack free. They sprayed a fresh coat of Chevy orange on it, and now it's ready for boring. I just ordered a Scat 9000 series crank that is designed to be internally balanced versus the externally balanced stock setup. Once that comes in, I'll run the crank over to the machine shop for the next step of balancing the rotating assembly. So, Christmas came a little bit early. Guess what just came in? Alright, so it finally came in. Got it from Summit. Took like 2 days. Gotta love it. So let's open this thing up, see what we got. Tomorrow I'll take this into the machine shop. Hopefully they're done with the boring and the cam bearings and all that fun stuff, and they'll be able to get this thing balanced and we can get this motor back together. Alright, let's tear into this thing. Or not. Oh my god, it's like Christmas morning. Morning. Really? There's nothing in here. I paid $250 for stickers? I must say they do a pretty nice job of packaging everything up. So this is a Scat cast iron crank. This one that I bought is actually designed to be internally balanced. All 400s are externally balanced by the flywheel and the balancer. This one is actually going to be internally balanced. So I would take it out of the box and let you guys really see this thing, but this is going to be a lot easier for me to transport tomorrow. Probably a lot safer too. So I'm going to box this thing back up. Put it right underneath the tree again, because it ain't Christmas yet. Done and done. So we're getting closer and closer to getting this engine back together. I just got in a Scat harmonic balancer and a PRW billet flywheel. Let's open her up, shall we? So since this engine's going to be internally balanced, now obviously I had to get some extra special parts. Yeah, this might be a step up from my stock cast flywheel, just a little bit. Okay, so once again, back to the machine shop. I swear I live there half the time at this point. Alright, so as far as this whole Camaro deal goes, I'm kind of at a standstill, you know. Kind of waiting on this machine shop to get everything done. Once they get these parts, they can finally balance the rotating assembly. So while I wait for this engine to come back from the machine shop, because there's really not much I can do right now besides drop those parts off and just wait. So I'm gonna kind of resurrect the C10 project just to kind of keep me going here. I started doing some rust repair on the floors. It started out as replacing rocker panels. Well, once I got the rocker panels off, there was nothing to weld it to, so then I ended up ripping into the floors, ripping into the the footwell, cutting out the pillars. So at this point, it's basically a huge, gigantic puzzle. An adult puzzle, let's say. Check it out. I'm hoping there finally comes a day at some point where I can actually drive this truck again, which would be nice, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I'll give you guys kind of a walk around. Well, as you can see, this truck's in pretty bad shape. There's a lot of repair work that needs to be done to the actual cab. The bed's pretty rotted out, but I was thinking about going with wood. Just honestly would probably be a lot cheaper. So there's a lot of work left on this thing. My plan was earlier in the summer to actually pop the cab off and redo the whole frame, but nothing ever works out kind of the way you want it to, so it got delayed. Plus the Camaro has really kept me busy. I do want to show you guys one thing. Now, I was never planning on doing any type of reviews or anything like that on this channel, but I got to show you this. Okay, so what those are very powerful earth magnets that I got at Eastwood. And I had my doubts that they would be super strong, so I did a couple tests. I'm going to show you this because this is pretty amazing. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take two of these magnets and take my camshaft out of that 400 and stick it to these metal cabinets. Is that ridiculous or what? On the next episode, I'll put my crankshaft up there. I don't know, probably not. Maybe the old one. I'll try it. I'll try it with the old one. I bet you would hold. I don't know. That might be pushing it. On the next video, I'm going to be going on a short road trip about an hour away from my house. There's a guy out there that has 3 Kwanzaa huts full of old cars. And I went there in the spring and found a 1966 Cutlass convertible. Price is right. I really want to check this thing out and see what kind of condition it's in because it was pretty dark in there last time I saw it. The engine is actually sitting in the corner. It would be a little bit of a project to get going, but I think it would be very roadkill worthy. So stay tuned for that. So if you guys want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button right there. And there might be some kind of video to watch up here and maybe up here. Maybe down here too. So subscribe, stay tuned. Also, there's a link in the description if you want to follow me on social media. I'll see you guys next time. Later.